I don't want to lose my love for machines. I don't want to lose my love for machines. We shouldn't be tied. We shouldn't be tied. There were too many people at the concert. There were too many people at the concert. Can you give permission? Can you give permission? You may not be able to suppress it at noon. You may not be able to suppress it at noon. I have health insurance. I have health insurance. You will breastfeed once a month. You will breastfeed once a month. Do you read book? Do you read book? English will be spoken all over the world. English will be spoken all over the world. The article explores the history of jazz music. The article explores the history of jazz music. How much money do you have? How much money do you have? There is a bus at the bus stop. There is a bus at the bus stop. Shouldn't I mix? Shouldn't I mix? He will live in 2 weeks. He will live in 2 weeks. Let me pay for the dinner tonight. Let me pay for the dinner tonight. You should apologize for what you said. You should apologize for what you said. Doesn't it block after 5 seconds? Doesn't it block after 5 seconds? The coffee is hot. The coffee is hot. The stand mixer has different attachments for different types of cooking. The stand mixer has different attachments for different types of cooking. If you study regularly, you will improve your grades. If you study regularly, you will improve your grades. To care about. To care about. Drama club is putting on a play about a duck trying to find its way home. Drama club is putting on a play about a duck trying to find its way home. I enjoy learning about different cultures. I enjoy learning about different cultures. The tall building is more impressive than the short one. The tall building is more impressive than the short one. Did it cause? Did it cause? What happened to you? What happened to you? His grandfather is a juggler. His grandfather is a juggler. I may be late for our appointment. I may be late for our appointment. They enjoy playing video games. They enjoy playing video games. The dress she bought is very expensive. The dress she bought is very expensive. Wouldn't it reduce 10 years? Wouldn't it reduce 10 years? Your brother-in-law was a dancer. Your brother-in-law was a dancer. They always go for a walk after dinner. They always go for a walk after dinner. I've already booked a hotel room for the conference. I've already booked a hotel room for the conference. Could you pass me the salt, please? Could you pass me the salt, please? I helped my mother while cooking. I helped my mother while cooking. He was watching a movie when he fell asleep. He was watching a movie when he fell asleep. After we finish our meal, we have dessert. After we finish our meal, we have dessert. Is her stepbrother a doctor? Is her stepbrother a doctor? Annoying. Annoying. Her mother-in-law is a hydrologist. Her mother-in-law is a hydrologist. His wife is a detective. His wife is a detective. He did not dress at night. He did not dress at night. The concert is in 2 weeks. The concert is in 2 weeks. Can't they assume? Can't they assume? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? He will study for his exam next week. He will study for his exam next week. I've already eaten lunch. I've already eaten lunch. Was it my mother-in-law? Was it my mother-in-law? Was your wife a pharmacist? Was your wife a pharmacist? I will make a lot of money. I will make a lot of money. Despite the obstacles, they never gave up on their goals. Despite the obstacles, they never gave up on their goals. Could you please turn the volume down a bit? Could you please turn the volume down a bit? I will call you when I come. I will call you when I come. They have already booked their flight. They have already booked their flight. Oranges are weird. Oranges are weird. They don't like horror movies, and neither do we. They don't like horror movies, and neither do we. Will you vote? Will you vote? He decided to take a photography course. He decided to take a photography course. The arrangement of the furniture makes the room appear smaller. The arrangement of the furniture makes the room appear smaller. I don't ask for 2 afternoons. I don't ask for 2 afternoons. It's so good to hear. It's so good to hear. Will I ask after 4 nights? Will I ask after 4 nights? What a delicious meal. What a delicious meal. You have to die. You have to die. He should have finished his homework by now. He should have finished his homework by now. We must not steer at dawn. We must not steer at dawn. Yes, we have a small gym. Yes, we have a small gym. It is noticed every day. It is noticed every day. Were you invisible in the twilight? Were you invisible in the twilight? He was on his way to work when his tire punctured. He was on his way to work when his tire punctured. I will be living in Japan next year. I will be living in Japan next year. Prepare to be impressed by the new president. Prepare to be impressed by the new president. He couldn't find his sunglasses. He couldn't find his sunglasses. This exercise is easier than the previous one. This exercise is easier than the previous one. I've been listening to music for 20 hours. I've been listening to music for 20 hours. He can't leave until he finishes his job. He can't leave until he finishes his job. I think I have a fever. I think I have a fever. The book fell off the shelf by itself. The book fell off the shelf by itself. Whose signature is on the document? Whose signature is on the document? Does he never lift? Does he never lift? Is my stepbrother a brewer? Is my stepbrother a brewer? Aware. Aware. He was fined for parking in the no parking zone. He was fined for parking in the no parking zone. He played football with his friends. He played football with his friends. You have to pay your bills by the end of the month. You have to pay your bills by the end of the month. I will be working on my new novel next month. I will be working on my new novel next month. I am very tired, I need a rest. I am very tired, I need a rest. Can you try these slippers? Can you try these slippers? Will not travel weekly. Will not travel weekly. Do they always have to blame? Do they always have to blame? Infrastructure. Infrastructure. Can't lobby now? Can't lobby now? It's raining. It's raining. You cook it 3 days in advance. You cook it 3 days in advance. When will you go home? When will you go home? She practices her dance routine. She practices her dance routine. Will we be 10 years naturalists? Will we be 10 years naturalists? Must be a daily cashier. Must be a daily cashier. He wears a hat to protect himself from the sun. He wears a hat to protect himself from the sun. Was her grandmother a songwriter? Was her grandmother a songwriter? Do we have to cry after 2 days? Do we have to cry after 2 days? He is happier today than yesterday. He is happier today than yesterday. Weren't they? Weren't they? I know the boy next to his sister. I know the boy next to his sister. He was supposed to visit his friend in the hospital. He was supposed to visit his friend in the hospital. He will start a new job in October. He will start a new job in October. Don't we solve it often? Don't we solve it often? He can swim, his sister can swim too. He can swim, his sister can swim too. 2. I don't notice anything special about the case. 2. I don't notice anything special about the case. I'm going to the theater. I'm going to the theater. Can we go to the park? Can we go to the park? Will I propose at twilight? Will I propose at twilight? They were not imposed on a weekly basis. They were not imposed on a weekly basis. My grandfather was a founder. My grandfather was a founder. We used to go skiing every winter. We used to go skiing every winter. Can you tell us about the scholarship opportunities of the university? Can you tell us about the scholarship opportunities of the university? Disappeared? Disappeared? He will live in 2 weeks. He will live in 2 weeks. He needs to fix his car. He needs to fix his car.